Hi everyone, this is Diamond Princess with another video. Today we are going to talk about femininity, dating websites, pretty privilege, and more. So I'm supposed to have a guest coming in today. I am going to wait on her. I sent her a link through the email, so hopefully hopefully that she got the notification because YouTube is really messing up people's views right now, and it's kind of aggravating. But I'm gonna wait for her to get into the chat. I'm gonna wait for everybody else to get into the chat, and we'll get started. And please leave a like. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the video. So I'm gonna wait for my guests to arrive because she said that she was going to come today. So I'm gonna wait on her. So so femininity. So when it comes to a woman's femininity, she knows that she is a woman that has value, that has worth, that knows what she wants in life, and knows that she is a woman and knows that she was born a woman. But however, a woman's femininity is being attacked by a bunch of dusties. So you have a bunch of crybabies. Hi, Eric. So you have a bunch of crybabies on the internet complaining about women wearing makeup, wearing wearing their hair a certain way, and what a woman is doing with a degree. So, so it's kind of weird what a man. It's kind of weird why a man worry about what a woman wants with her femininity, because it's feminine for a woman to wear makeup. That's natural. It's natural for a woman to change up her hairstyle, even if it is to wear wigs or braids or whatever. That is normal. It's just that women cannot be women these days. And our femininity is being attacked because we have a bunch of Burkham boys, what area he is referring now, because they are in competition with the woman. Because women, when it comes to our femininity, when we are very feminine, we usually get what we want from men. So because a man is masculine, he knows his role as a man, and he knows how to treat a woman. So when a man sees a feminine woman and he is interested in her, he will usually take her out. He will pay for certain stuff. He will pay for the date. He will buy her, you know, shoes, clothes, wigs, whatever, anything that she wants. anything that she wants. But most men nowadays, they want to complain about women, you know, wanting all this stuff, wanting a man to take them out on dates and treat them like a woman. And these guys nowadays don't want to do that because, let's be honest, they want to be treated like the woman in the relationship. They want to be treated like the woman in a relationship, and that's not how it works, because there can only be one feminine woman, and the only person that can be feminine is the woman. A man has to be the man, but you have men nowadays that want to get in their femininity and want to be treated like a woman. And you cannot have it both ways. It's just like when a woman wants to be in her masculine and she wants to take control of the household and push the man aside. It does not work like that. There has to be a balance in the relationship. And it turns out these men do not want a balance. And it's kind of making things complicated because they're thinking that the dating scene is so bad because women, because they want, because they have to treat women. Dude, if you don't have the money, please, like, you don't have to go on dates. You're forcing yourself to go on dates. And to be honest with you, some of these guys don't want feminine women. They don't. They want a woman they can go 50-50 on. They want a masculine woman. Uh, and I think these guys are kind of confused on what a feminine woman is, because a man knows what a feminine woman is. He don't like he's the one that goes out her way to pay things. He picks her up, take her around on a date, spend some quality time with her. A man that is a dusty, he is going he's not going to do all those things. He wants her to go 50-50 on a date, and he's going to not spend no quality time with her because he really don't have no interest. And he's going to hand over the masculine role to her because he doesn't know how to be a man. And that is very dangerous because these men are trying so hard to switch up the roles. And this goes for the women too, because we're allowing it. Like, our self-esteem is so low. And I'm not talking about all women, talking about women that has this self-esteem, because most women have this low self-esteem. They will put aside their femininity and they will use their masculine trait to get the guy what he wants, try to please him instead of pleasing themselves, and try to go out their way trying to make him happy when he is the one who's supposed to make them happy. He is the man. But if there is only one side relationship where the women have to go out their way to treat the man, then there is something wrong there. Because it's not a woman's job to buy the man things. That's the man's job. The man is the one who's supposed to be thoughtful. Is supposed to gift the woman first. He is supposed to gift the woman first. If he does not gift the woman, then and he's not complimenting on your looks like a man is supposed to, especially when he's the one that's asking you out, then it's time for you to leave that man alone, because he's being selfish and only thinking about himself. He's not thinking about you or anything. He is trying to get into them panties. Let me tell you something. A woman that knows her worth as a woman would not put up with that. Period. It would not go down like that. And it's very, and women should be ashamed of themselves allowing men to take advantage of them. Because as a woman, I don't know how you guys been raised or how your father raised you, but your dad will tell you this too. A man, if you meet a man, he is supposed to come with his own shit, his own house, his own car, his own money. Just like women, we have our own car, our own money. But some of these men are so worried about us having the degrees. How is that affecting your life? How is that stopping you from dating women that got their shit together? You guys always want to tell us, well, what you guys bring to the table, but you guys do not acknowledge these things about what we're doing. And to me, it's like you guys are going back and forth. You guys don't know what you want. You guys don't even know how to treat a woman. And that's a problem because all you guys can do is complain. But that's why I'm saying women's femininity is being under attack. Women, women, when it comes to your femininity, don't let a guy dictate you how a feminine woman should act when they don't even know how to be a masculine man. You know what a woman should act, how a woman should present yourself. Don't let these men come up here and confuse you. This is the thing. These men are thinking that most women have low self-esteem. They're trying to bring your low self-esteem down so they can bring your options down. Don't fall for that. Women, when it comes to your femininity, be the best feminine woman you can be. Because you're doing it for yourself, not for a man. These men think we're doing it for them. Do it for yourself. You're not doing it to catch a man. Okay? Because how a man feels shouldn't even matter to you because he can't get his own shit together. He really can't get his own shit together. So why is he telling you what to do? He can't even be a man. Because when you're feminine, a man knows. A man likes a woman that is feminine. He doesn't care how she does her hair or if she wears makeup. He likes that woman because he sees something in that woman that he probably never seen before. A man knows when a woman is wife material. Because let me tell you something, because I'm about to get in pretty privilege in a minute. Because a man that knows what he wants and knows what his desire will go after that woman. That he feels that she can give him that satisfaction. And this is where pretty privilege comes in. Women like to let me send her this link. I sent her the link. I don't know why she probably didn't get it. Okay, let me send it to her again. Okay, so I hear a lot of women on the internet, and especially Black women, because this is the group of people I am going to call out. Black women wants to complain about not being pretty or not having that pretty privilege. And not and men not finding them desirable. And this is not just Black women, this is other races of women as well. Um and this is kind of getting annoying with this pretty privilege because I did a video on pretty privilege, and these women that are saying that they're not getting attention, but that when they are around their friends are getting all the attention. Their friends are, getting all the stares from the men and all that stuff. But let me tell you guys something. Pretty pretty privilege is not all that. I don't like I understand that women wants to get, attention, and that's okay. That's normal to want to get attention from a guy. However, when it comes to pretty privilege, there are other things involved that women don't want to be involved with. For example, being sexualized, being sexually harassed, being stalked, and all this stuff by men. And this is the territory that comes with pretty privilege that no one is talking about. And this is and there's is a dangerous side to pretty privilege because there are men out there that are obsessed with women that they cannot get, that they are attracted to, and they can't even get that woman because that woman, she's not into him. So what is happening is that women, when it comes to having this pretty privilege, women get stopped, they get killed, they get raped, and all that stuff. And you guys are sitting up here worrying why you don't get, have this pretty privilege. Trust me, sweetheart, you don't want it. You do not want it because it comes with other things that no other girl is telling you about. No other girl is telling you about, what it is, what's the dark side of pretty privilege. And you guys have to realize that being pretty is not all that. Being pretty is not all that. Okay, but you guys want to sit up here and men are not paying attention to you, that's fine. Men, when it comes to men, they have their specific woman that they like. And they want that specific woman. And you may not be that specific woman that they are going for. And that's okay too. That is okay. Because not everything is for everybody. Not even a pretty girl is for every man. There are men that like big women. There are men that like their women natural. And there are men that they love the woman with all her flaws. Not every man is the same. So what men are they trying to attract? I don't know. It's all about having confidence and and thinking about yourself and liking yourself, because when you don't like yourself, people can tell and they can pick up on that right away. That you have no self-esteem or you have confidence in you. And they can pick up either way and they can use that to their advantage, especially if you have low self-esteem. Because if you have low self-esteem, you're going to attract a guy with low self-esteem. And this is like one of the videos that this girl was talking about. she was talking about, I will always get the guys that, that goes 50-50. They're, they can't court, and they're always broke men because that's something that you are attracting because you don't feel confident in yourself when they see that. And they would use that to their advantage so that they can, you know, use they can use you to get what they want. And this is what they were saying. Burkham, Eddie, he was talking about Burkham boys or something like that. Hey, Ann.
Hey,
Are you?
yeah, I almost didn't find the link. I think because you know how Gmail does it, it kind of hides the past comments or messages.
Oh,
But yeah, I found it. Sorry.
no, girl. What you have to say on, pretty privilege?
Pretty privileged.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually watched a video on Pretty Privilege. A lady, she was kind of like accepting how she wouldn't have pretty privilege, and she was explaining basically how it is not to have pretty privilege. And
Mm-hmm.
um, many things that you would like. A lot of people like to associate with women. The advantage of being a woman
Mm-hmm.
has to do with pretty privilege. Like some of the things she was talking about, I would assume would have to do with being a woman. But she was talking about, like, for example, not being able to go out. You know, she would
Mm-hmm.
go out and they would totally ignore her, and they wouldn't buy her drinks, and they wouldn't let her into clubs or anything. Like they would try to give her a really hard time going into clubs, even with like pretty girls as her friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what her name was. I do
I
remember
think it's her
Sitting
name.
Black on her channel.
I think that is her name.
Yeah,
But
I could look it up. Pretty privilege. I think. Let me see
because
if
if
I.
you if you if you type in pretty privilege, her video will pop up like that.
Yeah, it did. It did just now. It says, "I don't have pretty privilege, and that sucks." This Steph Co. I thought she was
Uh-huh.
pretty, honestly.
Yeah, she is pretty. It's about to me, it's about finding your worth and not seeking others for validation because that validation will come to you when you know your worth. But this poor girl doesn't know her worth, and she's in her 30s, so it's kind of hard to, I think she said that she got her confidence, but I'm not, sure. It doesn't seem like it. Hopefully she does. But there's
Yeah.
plenty, like it's like I said, there's different guys where everybody got guys like different things, and
Mm,
she's too focused on, guys that she wants, you know, to attract. They want, but it doesn't work that way because there are certain guys that are attract, whether it's body size, race, height, you know.
yeah. Everyone's beautiful for someone.
Yeah, that's true. It's someone for everybody, but some girls don't have that confidence. And there's it's not just that lady that just posted that video. There's other girls that came out with videos saying that, they don't get that, special treatment. And I hate to say this, but this is mostly black women that are saying this, and this is embarrassing. It's like, it's like, why does it mostly have to be black women doing these videos and not knowing their self-worth? Like, you're not going to attract everybody. You are who you are. Because not every guy is going to see you, as that type of person they want to be with. Because they have a vision in their head what they want their women to be like. And and that woman may not be you. Hate to say that, but you may not be the one. And which places you are going for to look a man, girl. Um, I don't know where you going to meet a man, but wherever you're going to, and she probably was like, because she was going, into, her, her wants to, attract black boys. And she was talking about when she get in middle school, she will see more black boys, and she'll probably get attention that way because they look like her. But little as she know, they teased her and made fun of her dark skin, and
Yeah.
that and and it's to me, it's like you looking in the wrong places for boys, or men, because if you are, trying to track the man and he is broke as a joke and he does not, contribute to society, whatever, or can't even build, then of course you're going to run into dusties that don't even care about that because they're the ones that, they're the ones that are looking for a specific woman, and you may not be that woman. It's just like, know yourself, know your worth. Because pretty privilege, just like I said, pretty privilege is not everything. And how do I know this is because women get stalked, they get raped, they get killed. Trust me. And I was talking about this on other people's life, how I was sexually harassed in school. These guys would make fun, like, they would make fun of me. Say they would talk about my tits, how they were so big. I should be working at Hooters, and I was just being sexually harassed. You know,
Wow.
and not only that, I was stalked once, and it's scary. And these girls don't know the other side of pretty privilege. There's a dark side to that, and that needs to be addressed.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah, definitely.
it
Because it can be like dangerous. It can really be dangerous if you're attracting. Because if you're pretty and you attract all sorts of men, you attract the high value ones, but you also attract the ones who are very dangerous and nobody wants to be with. So it's like,
exactly.
a danger point to it.
Exactly. We have to be very careful about, wanting to, this pretty privilege because there is a dark side to it. And for some reason, these women they don't see that. They're so focused on getting the male attention, they don't know what the consequences are with that, because there are men that will try to ask you out, and if you are not interested in these men, they will try to stalk you, they will curse you out, call you names. Because I had a guy, he tried to ask me, for my number, and I
Hmm.
told him no. I told him no. And then he started following me, calling me names and all that stuff. It's very dangerous having pretty privilege. It is very dangerous, and you have to be careful. There is nothing wrong with being pretty, and all that stuff, but it comes with a consequence. It comes with a dark side.
Yeah, it does. To me, I think honestly, like for me in my experience, like in some parts of the town and stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
can't you can't even just exist, really. Honestly, like being called names was kind of like a positive side of it sometimes, because sometimes they'll try and like back you up into a corner and
Mm-hmm.
like try and threaten you and try and basically intimidate you, or be like, there's other people. Like, I had one situation where I didn't even say anything. I was like 18 at this time, and I was just coming from, like, I was at the bus stop and I was behind the bus stop, and then I came out and just looked for the bus.
Right.
And there happened to be like some scary guy behind the bus stop, and for some reason, just because I walked away, I guess he said something, but I had headphones in my ears. He started freaking the heck out, like he was saying he was gonna crack my face, and he like just totally acted up basically because I walked away from him and didn't say anything, but I just didn't hear him. So I mean, I've had plenty of like police reports with situations like that, not to that extreme, but like other situations like where someone follows you to a bathroom or something
Mhm.
really bad like that, you know. And yeah, it's just not like, I think some people, you know, some people, I would say, you know, of some lower quality may, you know, appreciate any attention from anyone, but that doesn't have to do with looks. That's just how you value yourself.
Yeah, it's
Most
all about how
people
you
don't
carry yourself.
want that. They don't want individuals like that. They're too scary.
Even if you have low self-esteem, protect yourself at all costs, because things
Mhm.
like this happens when guys are going to harass you, going to stalk you, and all that stuff. That's just because of the territory of being pretty. So when these okay, so I'm going to go on to dating websites right now, right? So when these girls cannot get, the guy in public, they're going to turn to dating websites where that's even worse. That's when the predators hang out and the dusties, right? So they go on to these dating websites and they're trying to attract a man and try to find, the best candidate as possible. But there's this one story that I heard when a woman went on a one dating website, right? She said it was horrible. She said that the guy was so dusty, it was ridiculous. Like he wanted to go 50-50. He was just a broke ass dude that
Wow.
couldn't pay for anything. And I said, and that's why I said that, it's what you're not going to find the type of man on a dating website that would uh, that you are looking for. There are some women that are lucky that they found somebody on that website that are actually, fit what they were looking for. However, about 95% of the women that go on these dating sites don't get the men that they want, and they end up disappointed. But here's my thing. If you're not looking for attention and you're just minding your own business, it's going to come to you. You can't seek it out, because if you're trying to go out and seek attention, then it's not going to come to you because you're seeking for it. You wanting validation. And I understand that, because that's in the nature of a woman, that to have, to want that attention. However, if you're just seeking it, then it's not going to come to you, and you're going to feel disappointed, and your friends are going to be the ones that's going to get that attention. It's because they're not seeking it. And
Yeah, yeah, because it's desperation, right?
yeah, because guys can see it. Guys can see that you're desperate. As guys that value themselves and hold themselves to a higher standard, they don't want a woman that's desperate. Trust me, they don't want that. And they can see it all over you. They're gonna be like, okay, well, I don't want a woman that's desperate and all that stuff, because he doesn't want that desperation hanging around him. So once he doesn't want that, then the girl's gonna be like, I don't have pretty privilege. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I'm not pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And girl, I'm like, girl, get you some self esteem, seek therapy or something like that because you're not helping. Why do people always want to go to social media, air out their business like that? Like, come on now. I'm not going to attract every guy I walk out this house. I'm not going to because it is not it doesn't happen like that. A guy that is made that is seeking for you, he is going to seek you, he's going to do whatever he can, because a guy, he knows who if your wife material or not, because he's looking for a wife that is that that fits him. And we're and we have, as women, we have to stop looking for validation, stop looking at these fairy tale movies thinking that you're gonna attract every motherfucker that walks down the street. It's not going to happen. It's not.
Yeah, I understand that. To me, honestly, I think when people show that online and like basically express like that they don't have pretty privilege, especially among Black women, it kind of makes us look bad to other people, and I don't really appreciate that because I mean, like it kind of brings a bad light to us when it's like I think if they had more confidence in how they looked and their appearance and stuff, especially the one I was watching the video on, she was like really pretty. So I mean, like if she just looked with her eyes and actually had confidence and didn't like look
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
others, she would already know and not need validation from others.
Spread all our business out there, and it comes back to bite us, because when you saying that you put out there that you are not have pretty privilege, that turns men off and is unattractive. You don't know how unattractive you sound when you say that. I don't have pretty privilege. I'm not going to go out in the world saying that, I need validation. I don't have pretty privilege. I don't have that. Stop with the low self esteem. Stop. You're not going to attract the man that you want, especially when you're showing your face.
Yeah. I mean, it basically,
It's not. It's not working for you. Like you like, it seems like these girls want these guys to feel sorry for them or something. Like, it doesn't. You crying about not having privilege does not work. I'm sorry. No guy's gonna drop what he's doing to tell you that you're so pretty. That does not work.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I would think anyway. Don't you have an opinion of yourself? Either you
Hmm.
feel you're pretty or you're not. Kind of thing. And we
Yeah,
keep
you have.
and men change their opinions on women all the time when they're like angry or whatever, or if they're happy or
Mhm.
whatever. Why would you depend on someone who's got such a fleety opinion?
Right. You like don't you like your others' opinion on you does not matter. The only opinion that is mattered is yourself.
Mm,
Because I understand that words do hurt, and all that stuff, but you're just gonna have to shake it off. Cry if you have to, but then you have to get over it. You have to. Because if a guy is not finding you attractive, that's just, okay, so he doesn't find you attractive, so what? And these women talking about they don't have pretty privilege, there are guys out here saying that they're having a hard time attracting women as well. They're having a hard time attracting women, and that and this is why these guys, are getting frustrated and angry because women are not giving them the attention that they want, or that if they were in a relationship, it doesn't work out. And to me, it goes both ways because both genders, go through the same thing, not being pretty enough, not being and with the guy not being, that handsome guy with the muscles, not, living up to the standard of beauty. And I'm just like, who cares? Look all around you. You think everybody else lives up to that standard? You think
Yeah.
is shaped the same and everyone is having a flat stomach, a round butt, big titties, and all that stuff. No, not everybody is the same. And people need to wake up and realize that, like, I don't know what trying to man you are trying to attract, but girl, come on now. Like, I don't know if you guys been stuck on a rock, but not everybody's gonna look like the Hollywood image. It's impossible to look like that.
Yeah, honestly, I have to say, I kind of see that with men, though, what you were saying about men not always being the most, like, handsome with muscles. Like, I notice this personally because I don't like men with a lot of muscle, but sometimes you encounter men who are, I would consider good looking, but they have kind of that same syndrome of thinking they're not handsome enough or they're not big enough or strong enough or whatever, you know, and they just assume women all want the same thing. Like we all are attracted to one thing, just like those women basically think men are attracted to just one specific thing. And then it basically cuts them down in options because when you basically reject yourself before anyone
Mhm.
else can reject you, you don't really have a chance. Because I mean,
That
like, you didn't give yourself a chance.
I was watching this woman on YouTube early this morning because I woke up around 4 or so this morning and I was like, I can't go back to sleep. So I just turned on my TV and, watched a YouTube video, and I stumbled across this woman's video. And she was saying that she was dating a man, right, that went to her church. And he'd been asking her out, and she said that she really wasn't interested in him, but she gave him a chance anyways. And one of the things that stood out to me, what she said in this conversation, was that he was always talking about her hair, how he always liked women with long hair and women with straight hair. And she was kind of like, well, she said her hair, it's kind of impossible for it to bounce, to keep it, and a style, shape, because she said it always goes back to being puffy and back to her, her natural kinky hair. And
Yeah,
and this is before she had her locks, installed in her head. And she said he broke up with her because of that. Because she was going to break up with him because she wasn't really physically attracted to him, but he broke up with her because she did not fit the standard of beauty he was looking for when it comes to hair, because he was saying that I'm looking for a woman that has straight long hair and something like that. And she was saying, well, most black women, not all of us have that type of hair. Most of us has kinky hair. And I'm like, yeah,
yeah, of
most
course.
do have kinky hair, but what she failing and missing is that this dude has self hatred. He does not, he does not like himself. That was obvious because he was, talking about her hair. And two,
Well,
he probably don't like black women, but he probably was trying to settle for you because that's probably what all he can get. So is when it comes to guys, like if I, peak something like that, when a guy will constantly talk about my hair and all that stuff, that's the cue to me to leave because that is so dangerous for a man trying to change who you
Mhm.
are. That is I can't like when a man, if a man wants a woman that has straight long stringy hair, then he needs to get with other races of women that are not black that has that type of hair, or look in the black community in a needle in a haystack for black women that has that type of hair. But in my opinion, watch out for guys that has a colorism problem, a hair texture problem, because that's just self hatred, in my opinion.
Yeah, sounds like it. I didn't know he was black, but huh. Yeah, I've had people who were I've been involved with people who had longer hair. They had like long, I think like 2B hair, and
Mm-hmm.
they were
Mm-hmm.
a lot into hair and stuff like that. But I don't think they said anything about like straight hair. I mean, like to me, I find it weird. I do remember actually one situation though, where somebody was actually not for me personally, but a friend of mine. She was talking about how she was dating a guy who was telling her that he had a thing for like women that were um, like Asian or like part Asian or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and it was weird because the person wasn't black and they weren't Asian. So it was like why would you go after someone who is black, and they're not the phenotype you want? It's like you obviously aren't attractive enough or something going on wrong with you that you're going after something you're not interested in, you know.
Yeah,
And
because they feel like they can get at the moment because not other races or women are not interested in them. So that's
mhm,
the only, problem that these guys have is that they want their preferences, but they're trying to get it out of black women. And it doesn't work like that because we're a whole nother race of people with different type of hair. So, but if you guys, the only exception that would happen with black women to get that kind of hair if you put on a wig and and be done with it, put on a wig and hopefully you get satisfied. But when it comes to our natural hair, it just can't happen because our hair is a different type of texture.
mhm,
So
yeah,
as women, we're doing all these changes for these men and trying to live up to the standards where it is impossible. You can't live up to what other people want you to be because you're not that person. So it's always, best for women to say and tell the man, you know what, I'm not your type. I can't, do the things that you want me to do. I cannot be the person you want me to be. So, and it's kind of hard for me to, be another person because I have a different kind of hairstyle. I have different type phenotype features. So I am not the person that you're looking for. The person that you're looking for, she's out there, but I'm not the one. You have to love
mhm,
yourself first. Exactly. You have to love yourself first. It's all about having self worth about yourself. Always.
yeah, definitely.
So there is another topic too, and I know I've been talking about her, for quite some time now, and I'm not going to mention her name anymore because I'm not going to even get into it. I think she's nuts, but she made like a couple of videos about black women and the Bible saying that we're bald, God curse us to be bald, and and all that stuff. And I'm just like, girl, look at your damn bangs. You have these damn clip-on bangs going over your head, and look at your ponytail. Like, like she put her hair in two ponytails, and they look thin as hell. It's like you're gonna go bald in the next few years. But you want to talk about black women going balding on us stuff. I don't even know why she even talk about black women. I guess we are just a hot commodity. But anyways, so what is your take on that?
Well, I think honestly, she's that Asian lady that was talking
Yeah,
poorly about black women. I don't know.
yeah.
To me, I'm like, I've I I have certain opinions on some Asian people who are racist towards black people. So I
I
try
heard that
to.
she hung out with, back in the day, she hung out with, white supremacist groups back then. And that
Yeah,
kind of, adds up, adds everything up of how she, does that now, doing things now, because it's not just black women she is talking about. And when she comes to the Bible, it's black people as a whole. And,
yeah,
and she's trying to speak on the communities or why the community is the way it is now. And I'm saying to myself, the reason why people are killing each other is because of resources. It's not because of God, all the punishing, a certain group of people. It's because of the lack of resources being passed around in the community, and people want to survive. And that's why people are trying to kill each other, is because they want that resources and whatnot. It's just, it's just so ridiculous of what she is saying, because she's just going off of, like, her racist views on how she think of black people, especially black women, because she has something against black women. And I'm thinking, like, I'm thinking
maybe
that,
she's just upset because she's unattractive.
huh?
Like maybe she's it doesn't. Maybe she's just upset because she's unattractive. I mean, like
Or baby
her
mama
features aren't real
that
a
she
lot
was
of the
with,
time with. Oh, what? I'm sorry.
she's a baby mama. And she was with this one guy back in the mid 2000s or something like that, and she thought that he was rich or something, because her girlfriend that worked from Johnson's and Johnson, she passed away. So she got with him, and she thought that he was, rich. But it turns out he was broke, and she had a baby by him, and he never married her. And she had another kid with another guy, and he never married her. She's a single mom. So I'm just like, girl, you sitting up here saying that black women are not submissive. Where's your ring? How come your baby daddies has not proposed to you? Like,
Yeah.
is there yeah,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think anyway, as far as looks, I mean, she's not very nice looking for one. I mean, she kind of looks like an alien. So, I mean, like, of course she'd be jealous of black women's looks. I mean, so what could she come for besides hair? That's why she went that way. It's an off. I mean, I
that's
think often a lot of other races do that to black women because they know that black women are so beautiful that they feel like they can't come for black women in any way, so they try to just go after the one thing that black women are unique and beautiful in. Having 4C hair.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. But black men do it too. They do it too. That's why she's not, like, I can say with other races of men, they don't come at us like that, because
Hmm.
simply they don't care. But black men, on the other hand, they the ones that are pushing that rhetoric, saying that black women are bald. And that's where she's basing off from, because she's saying that she's from the black community. She knows how it is in the black community. I don't believe her. I really don't. Because if she was from the black community, she would have sympathy, and she would not be hanging around white supremacist group.
Yeah.
I don't think she was, I don't think she was around black people that much. She would not be hanging around white supremacist group. That's, I don't, no. Mm.
No, I just think she's just insecure, honestly. Someone might not even think that black women are, unattractive or anything. They might feel
Mm.
intimidated by black women, and that's why they go after black women. You have to think,
Mm.
who really goes after someone they feel is less than
A
them?
threat.
Nobody. They only
Mm-hmm.
go after people that are a threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
and
I
that's
mean, and her. Oh,
go
what?
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it's
Go
just
ahead.
the live stream. It has a weird voice like thing going on, like it's colliding a bit. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Let me mute myself while
I
you
was,
talk.
no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
No,
do?
I'm done.
Because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I try to keep
It
our mics from
collided.
flashing.
Sorry.
Yeah, so she's talking about the black nation, how the black nations are curses, and then she also throw in there about the Haitian president what was assassinated a couple of days ago. She threw that in there to prove that the black nations are cursed. And I'm just like, here the fuck we go again. Like this woman, she just tried to get under black people's skin, with her no nonsense, no hairline having ass woman, is trying to talk down on another race of women, and and she doesn't, have anything going for herself. Her career failed. She's a single mother, and she just she's trying to feed off a black woman, but we're not going to give her a plate. Don't give her a plate.
Yeah, she look
Her,
like I said. She was. I think she's just insecure about her own looks. I mean, there's nothing attractive
yeah,
about her, obviously.
yeah, let her, don't give her a plate, black woman. Let her starve. Let's be the last time we acknowledge her. Like, I'm glad that black people are now acknowledging her so far, because she made like three more videos on black women and black nations or something like that. But don't give her no more attention. She got her attention from a video, her first video, when she talks about black women going bald. Now it stops there, and I'm glad that we're not giving her no more attention, because we all know that
She's
she
not
is,
worth.
she's not relevant. She's not relevant. But anyways, on to the next topic. So, what do you have to say? Is there anything you want to address?
On the lady. I don't know. You don't want to just say her name.
No, 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 no. We're done with that. Is there
Okay.
anything you want to put out there that you want to like get off your chest?
No, I was good actually. I like the topics that you brought up. They were very interesting.
No, because there's a lot of events going on in 2021. Because 2 weeks ago it was the BET awards. 2 weeks ago, me and my friends were in LA, and this is the day after the Clippers game. They were hosting it, so me and my friends were trying to go get into the BET awards and figure out, but we could not, because everybody had a wristband. So they know who is supposed to be in the award show. Because we were trying to get in, like, we wanted to get in. I wasn't trying to get in that bad, because I'm not trying to see black folks like that. But my other two friends, they were trying to get in there, and I was like, let's just go somewhere else. Like, we can't get in anyways, because we need a wristband. We have to prove that we paid for the tickets. So on that day, on that night, we heard Taraji P. Henson saying that black men, did she say we need our black men? We want black men back, or something like that. We want our black men back. And I was just like, when I heard that, because I was coming from, having a evening because my it was my friend's birthday week. She was, I was spending the birthday weekend with her and with another friend, and and then when I heard this, when I got home and I heard this, I was like, "That's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. Why would she say something like that? Like, I don't get why Taraji feel the need to even announce that she wants black men when she dated black men and none of them married her or even proposed to her. I never heard her being engaged. She was a single mom. But but to me it's like, why, that was embarrassing. Like, I couldn't, thank God, we didn't even try to go in anymore, because that I wouldn't have walked out, seeing that, embarrassment. That is embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, to
Oh
me,
my
I.
God.
Oh, what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
No, I can't hear you. That's why
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. It was like you were far away. Sorry.
Oh, no, no, go. I said go ahead. Go ahead and talk.
Okay. I was just saying. Yeah, I was just agreeing with you basically. To me, it was embarrassing, but I just kind of feel like I don't understand why people have to point that out because I mean, like, what's it make you look like like people don't really if someone says I want someone back as if they left you and stuff, it makes it seem like you aren't really wanted or desired if you're just chasing after someone. You know what I mean? So it makes it even look worse. If you like felt that way, I mean, maybe you can't help how you feel, but I mean, like vocalizing it actually makes it worse.
Yeah, it's like she shouldn't have kept that to herself. Like, not, it's just that as divestment woman, we're trying to push our image out there to other races of men, and try to open up our options, let other races men know, hey, there are black women that are out there that are interested in you, but you have, mammies like Taraji B. Henson and out there being pushed to the forefront. It's like, our voices are not getting reached out there. It is because, the media does not want to see black women interracially date. How,
Hmm.
and it just makes us look bad, because other, races of men that do like black women, they're gonna see that, well, black women don't, want to be with us. And that's, and that's
Exactly.
very sad. And that's very sad because it there are black women that do not date black men, and they're not being pushed to the forefront like that, but there are black, non-black men that are aware of that, but it's not too many that, because they're busy and they're out there, trying to get their bag and all that stuff, and then sometimes they don't have time to go on YouTube. They probably don't even know what YouTube is, you know, you know, but we're trying, yeah, as black women, we're trying to, we're trying to change that, but the good news is that the beauty standard is shifting the way we want it to shift.
Hmm.
It's shifting, towards us, because we're not getting as much coverage, but we're pushing ourselves out there. And we're getting noticed, but it's not enough. But our goal is to shift the beauty standard to us, to make us look, you know, to make us look high value. Because,
Hmm.
you know, It's a shame that we were found like a couple years ago. I don't know if you ever heard this, where a Japanese guy made a study saying that out of all races of women, black women are the least unattractive. And I saw that study, and and this is where when I had low self esteem. I think it was back in 2013, I believe, and that kind of
Hmm.
made me feel worse because it made me feel worse back then because it made me feel like I was unattractive and I was not desirable. But as I continue to work on myself, I told myself that doesn't matter because he's only one guy. He don't speak for every other guy. He don't not everybody follows the standard of beauty of having blue eyes, blonde hair, whatever features or phenotypes. Not everybody's going to follow the same standard of beauty. It's all about loving yourself, knowing who you are, what you're going to tolerate, and what you're not going to tolerate. That's the most important is you. We have to stop saying, putting other people first. We need to stop that and put ourselves first, and making sure our needs are met, because we can't take care of other people, black especially black women, because we don't have the time to take care of grown ass people. They can take care of themselves, they're grown. We don't have any children. People have a life. We have to go and live it. We have to
Yeah,
go and, yeah, because that's what happened back in I think this, we as black women, we've been taking care of other people's kids, all generation. It stops here in 2021. We're tired, watching other people's kids. We want our freedom. We have our own lives. We're not babysitters. And this is why black women are going to school, because we do not want to work lower jobs that doesn't pay the rent. We don't want to work maid jobs. We don't want to work um, custodian jobs, low level jobs that doesn't pay the bills. It's okay when you're like 19, like 18, 19, 20, 21. That's a start. Those are starter jobs. That's where you start out with. But when you are like, hitting 25, and on down, it's time for us to, you know, start living a better lifestyle, and start earning more money for ourselves, because it's for us. It's not for nobody else. It's for us, so that we can be able to get our own house, get our own car, and have a nice FICO score. Because when you meet a man, you don't want a man that's in debt. You want him to have a clean record on his credit report. Because if you owe like any debt or anything, then that's a problem. That can also be your reliability as well, because you married that man and he passed that debt on to you. And it goes on your credit report. And it's hard to get off. It's very hard to get off, depending how many debt that he owes. And they're gonna start sending you letters because they want somebody to pay it. And I was like, you have to question the guy. Like, does he have debt? Because he's not going to tell you that he has debt because he does not want to bring that to the forefront. He does not want to put that out there that he has some sort of debt. But but that's why it's always good to do background checks on dudes
Oh,
because then um then you know who these guys are. If they have a clean criminal history, no criminal history past, they caught up with all their bills, they have a good payment history. You want somebody that is reliable and responsible. And this goes for both men and women because women can have bad credit too, and have a bad payment history. But I'm only talking to the women here. Don't marry anyone that has a bad history when they have loans. It doesn't matter whether it's student loan or car loan. If they have not paid that off, it's gonna go on you. And this is what happened to my sister's husband's sister, where she married a guy, and after she married him, he had debt, like debt up the ass. That the creditors were calling her and telling her that, hey, your husband owes this and we need you to pay. And women, there I have to look I have to look do you and do you know any thing that can block a woman from if she marries a guy with bad credit, can she block that? Do you know anything about that?
like block what?
Okay,
Block
so
his.
let's say a woman marries a guy and she just found out that it has debt, that he owns like student loans or a car loan, and he never paid that back. And they're putting it on her credit, making her reliable for his shit. So, I was just asking, is there a way women can avoid that besides, doing background checks and all that stuff?
I've never heard of anything like that. I think
Mhm.
I know somebody was saying that there was a way to get better credit, but that was for yourself. I don't really know for your partner actually.
Well, your partner can, get help to get better credit, but he has to work on that. He has to be willing to,
Yeah,
get all that debt off for himself. But I think it depends
I'm
on
saying
this. Go ahead.
no. I was just saying. I see in the comments someone was saying if they are married, his debt is their debt or something like that. I
That's what
think
I was
maybe
saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
that's
was saying. Yeah, that's basically what happens, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous. You don't want to marry a guy that's in debt. You always want to I think there is a way where you don't have to pay off, any of his debt. He could pay off his own debt and it doesn't go fall on your credit. I think there is a way. I think you have to get a lawyer
oh
or seek some kind of like, consultation or something to, stop your spouse's debt from, accumulating to yours because you have good credit. You want to keep it that way. You don't want to marry somebody that has bad credit. Your credit has to be good. It
yeah,
has to,
understandable.
yeah. So, and you want to make sure you pay all your payments on time. That's always a plus. Your payments always have to be paid on time. But it's hard to find somebody nowadays that is reliable because that's what happened to my sister's husband's sister who married a guy. He accumulated debt and then she ends up with the bill and she didn't want to pay for it. And I don't blame her because she didn't do all that. She didn't she didn't run up his credit and nothing like that. He did that to himself. So it's always good to to see what kind of credit this guy has, and it will determine the factor whether or not he is a good you know is a good person you want to marry. Because he has to be responsible. Yeah, she needs a lawyer, especially if he hid this from her before marriage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because guys, is like I
Yeah,
said,
sounds like it.
guys don't want to tell you is
Because
because they either are embarrassed or they are afraid to get rejected. You can't go by, trusting a guy just because he showed you love and affection and he, treats you right. You have to know what kind of debt he's in before you even, get into any other mess that he's involved in. But ladies, just be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful who you get involved in. Because the only way that you know that a guy is responsible and you know that is when he doesn't beg for money. That's one. If you know a guy and you're with him, you guys are not married yet, and he comes up and asks for $20, this guy is not reliable at all. He is not responsible. He probably is in a lot of debt, and you probably accumulate a lot of debt. So you have to be careful when a guy asks you for money because that shows that he's not responsible and he's not somebody you should depend on. What do you think, Anne?
yeah, I just think for one, I wanted to well, I wanted to speak upon. You were saying there was a Japanese guy in the way back before.
Oh, that was back in 2013.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
wanted to. I wanted to talk about that just a sec. Was that on the dating apps or something of that nature?
I don't know. I think he was basing off according to the dating app because he see that when you do the dating apps, he's and when you're doing data, it shows you what group or race of people that are getting the most messages, the most call-ins, and all that stuff. So he
Yeah,
based it off of that and then he figured that black women are the least desirable women. He based it off that. So
yeah, and that's what I mean. I kind of found that to be silly because if like on dating apps you have to put people put their ethnicity on there. And the thing is, like, if you don't have your ethnicity or you have a different ethnicity and you're the same person, so if you have black on your ethnicity one day and another day you have Middle Eastern on your ethnicity, and you're the same person, you get
mhm.
more messages one way than the other, then obviously it's not about you being attractive, really. It's about the idea of blackness versus Middle Eastern versus Hispanic versus Asian versus white.
Mhm.
So to me,
Yeah.
I just thought that was an ignorant way to try and say that black women were more, or I mean, less attractive than
It's all
other
propaganda
women.
to
To me, they're much
to
more attractive.
yeah, it's to diminish the black woman's image further into
Hmm.
thinking that we're not attracted enough, but we're like thank God other races of men are not stupid to fall for that. because men know who they desire and what they want for a woman. If he wants a black woman, he will marry a black woman. You know what I mean? So that study was a crock of shit. It was. It's a crock of shit.
Yeah,
And,
and like I said, it's not based off of the black woman's looks, because like I said, if you change your ethnicity and you use the same photos, obviously
mhm.
it's not about your face. Then it's about what people, because people, when they look for certain races, they can put in their search
Yep.
engine if they want black women, or if they want this, and in their minds they're thinking basically blackness. They're not thinking of specifically you or how you look. So it's not about that. It's more so about the search system, basically. It's an ignorant way. It's an ignorant way to
I'm
determine if
sorry,
black.
girl. I went out. I forgot everything you were saying. My internet went out.
Huh?
My internet went out. I forgot. I
Oh.
didn't hear anything you said.
Oh yeah. Okay. Where did you leave off? I said basically that I just think that an ignorant way to go off of if black women are less attractive, because if the same black woman can use the same photos, but it's just if you put your ethnicity as black or you don't put your ethnicity as black, or you don't have an ethnicity on there, then it's not about your looks. It's about how people search for specific women of specific ethnicities, and that we know, like, the black race, what people think of the black race versus the white race or the Middle Eastern race. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't think it has to do with someone's looks. It's a connotation of being black. Also, I've seen some things where some people, in dating sites, I've seen it with black women and black men where sometimes there are things where the stereotypes of black people can negatively affect your dating because they don't get to see you specifically as a person, like in real life.
Hmm.
So they don't get to see how you are as a person, which
Yeah,
is very helpful
because you
for
still
black
have
people.
you do. It's because you do have those people that do fall for this propaganda. Don't do their research. Don't talk to people because I met people like that are very ignorant because they do believe that black people are undesirable without knowing any facts if that's true. They're just going off on media. But you know, uh,
Or like stereotypes too of black people as personality, you know what I mean? Because
yeah.
I think it's a major part of it. It's just like, like in real life, people get to know you. They see you for you. You know what I mean? They kind of get to interact with you. With a dating site, they get to just see your photo, which is like, if it's, especially if it has, like, if it's connected with certain profiles, then they're probably not going to find those profiles that are, of that ethnic background. So, like I said, it's just not about looks, in my opinion, on
No,
either.
it's not. I think he was just being racist,
Yeah.
just being, that's why I was like, that study goes out the window now because more black women, I think it's over 12% now, are marrying non-black men. And if you go and look in Africa, Asian men are marrying African women. And that has to do with the shortage of, them not having enough women in their countries to marry. And that has like a lot to do with, them killing the girls. But instead of them going to other Asian countries to marry, other Asian women, they going out and they're marrying these African women. And I've said like that's strange because, You want to have children other other women that looks damn near with like you, but you're going out and you're going to Africa to marry African women. That to me, it didn't really make sense to me, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, black women are beautiful.
Yeah, I know, but when it comes to like, because people want to marry somebody that looks like them, especially the Asian race, but uh, I have to say, they did it to their own self, but you know, uh, yeah, but I also heard that besides them marrying, African women, they're also making them baby mamas as well.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, they making them. They're not marrying these girls, because they're going to the poor side of Africa. They're not going to the rich areas in Africa where the women come from wealthy families. They're going to the poor side and they're doing this. They're impregnating the women and leaving them as baby mothers because in the poor side they don't have too much education there. The education, I would say they will have less than a third grade education,
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, so the people there, they're not really, in the poor side, they're not really aware of what's going on because they come from such a poor area. They don't get information around the world. How, but however, they were able to, trick these women into, sleeping with them, getting them pregnant, and leaving them you know, without any support. And I was like, that's fucking fucked up. That's fucking fucked up. So you took advantage of a woman in that area, got her pregnant. You said whatever you wanted to say to her, got her pregnant, and then you go leave. That's fucked up. Like, how do people live with themselves? You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
no conscience.
No conscience whatsoever. But if you do that in the rich neighborhood of Africa, they will get you. And that's why they don't mess with the women that are very educated, is because they know better. But these women that live in the poor areas, they don't know better. And they're
Uh,
taking, advantage of them. Hi, hi, Terrell. Sorry, I wasn't saying my own name. Hi, Terrell. But yeah, like we're not saying, this is why we're not getting the full information. Like there are Asian men that are marrying black women, but on the other side, there are Asian men that are making African women baby mamas, and we're not even acknowledging that side. It's like we're totally ignoring that, and going on to like the marriage part.
oh,
This is why when it comes to swirling and some divestment channels, I can't not take them seriously because there's too many, white male worship and other races of men
oh,
worship. I'm not saying that that's every non-black guy, because there are non-black guys that that are family oriented, but you have to look at the other side where these dudes do not have that, and they will and they act just like black men, but they're another race of men. So you have to be careful on what you guys are sending to these black women, because you're also sending them false hope. Thinking that every race of non-black men are good providers when they're also not. When they also have their pookies and ray rays. You
oh
know,
yes.
because
Yeah,
I've.
yeah. I don't. To me, I don't honestly like when they do that kind of like other races, like they try to worship other races, because it's like, one, it puts us in a position where, if you're worshiping someone, you aren't on top. basically, because you're worshiping them. You know what I mean? So you're putting
Hmm.
yourself in a bad position because you're putting yourself as not valued because you're valuing them over you. And so
Right.
that doesn't encourage people to want you when you value them but you haven't valued yourself because they have to think what's in it for me. And then, if you're putting out that you are lesser, then they'll want to get better. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't
Oh
put
yeah.
yourself, I mean, black women are obviously not less than other races. So, I mean, like, you shouldn't try and put yourself in a view of worshiping white
Yeah.
men like that. You should see
Yeah.
yourself more on an equal footing.
Exactly. Terrell, yeah, I have been on Xtina's channel. However, I don't go down there that often is because she's been having a lot of dusties on her live stream, from the manosphere, and I just can't, stand these guys that thinking that cheating is okay when it's actually not. I just can't hang around, her stream when she have a bunch of men that thinks like that. So I rarely watch her videos. Don't The only videos that I will watch if she's talking about the culture, and that is it. When it comes to relationships and all that stuff, I rarely watch it because if you look at her panel, she gets a lot of dust on this panel, and it just don't make no sense to me. No.
She's not divested, right?
Xtina, I don't know. That's why I said I don't watch her channel that often. But but she does have kids, though. I know she has, kids, but I don't think she never said that she's swirls or she's divested, But
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was always confused with her because she would always say stuff about Dominicans, and then she'd say stuff about black men, like that she dated black men, but then she'd say she dated um, Dominican men. So I never really got what she was. I know she said that she preferred. No, it was confusing. I thought she said that she usually attracted black men, right? But then didn't she say that she was attracted to white men at one point? I'm not really sure.
I think she said, from what I heard, she was attracted to, she usually attract white men. But
Uh,
other than that, I don't know, because, I don't watch her videos that often because she always allowed Dusties on her live stream, which is her choice. That's her channel. She could let anybody on her channel. I just don't watch it when she, have these open panels and the Dusties just jump on. Like, no.
yeah, I'm not into that. It's just I don't know. Like usually with a lot of different types of men of that caliber, for me, I don't know. They kind of bore me. Like
It's just
I can watch a video of the manosphere, but not a live stream of different random ones speaking. That to me is just too much.
their opinion don't matter to me. I just block them out after, they spew the same rhetoric as they always do. It's like, at that point, your opinion, you always said what you have to say. Your opinion doesn't matter to me. Okay, I get what you're saying. I'm going to go do my nails right now because, your opinion, it really doesn't matter if you're going to say the same thing over and over again. Like, dude, we already get that you don't like women. Okay, we
Hmm.
already that we got that. It's no furthering in what else you got, besides, what, cheating in peace. Why do you feel like you need to cheat when you can lose everything? You could lose your wife, you could, lose, well, you won't lose your children. It depends on, you just probably won't have a great relationship with them. And, as far as that, it, like, dude, if you feel like you need to cheat, get a divorce, and then you won't have to worry about, you know, sneaking around and try to have sex with your woman. And don't get married. Please don't get married. Because what's the point of getting married if you're gonna have sex with other girls? Come on now. It's not. That does not make sense to me whatsoever. If you feel like you can't control your dick, don't get married. Point blank. Period.
Yeah, it's just gonna end. Like I don't understand unless you're in an open marriage or something, and you guys like
Mhm.
that kind of thing. But
Yeah, because
normally,
this all started right around March or late February when Derek Jackson got caught cheating on his wife.
oh
And
yeah,
come on, like it all of a sudden these guys start defending him. At first, before all this went down, he was, defending women and telling guys, you guys need to man up you know, and take care of your woman. The guys did not like him. They did everything, in their power to, try to make him discreditable. But now that he's a cheater, they found out that he's cheating. They want to stick up to him, and this is where this whole "let me cheat in peace," and that's just a stupid saying. It's so stupid. Let me cheat in peace. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you even want to cheat? Do you guys know what the consequences are when you cheat?
yeah.
Like, that doesn't like. Go ahead.
No, honestly, what do you expect? What would you let your woman, cheat in peace?
Because if you want to cheat, I'm going to cheat too. Like, it goes both ways, homie. You can't. You have your way. I'm going to have my way too.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't it doesn't make sense why you're the only one in the relationship that cheat. Like, be honest. Like, let the woman know that you want an open marriage. If that's something that she agreed to, fine. Go out there and cheat, but don't sneak around with it. Like, because if she does not agree with it and you marry her anyway and you cheated, there's gonna be a consequence to that.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't understand if he thinks that it's okay to cheat or cheat in peace. Then I mean, like, you think there's peace with cheating? That why don't you? Why would you have an issue with your woman cheating? You should think, okay, you should be able to like talk to her about this and be like, I thought about it, and we should cheat together. And I actually thought in the Derek Jackson situation, didn't they cheat together or no? Or
No, that
was
was
that
just him.
cheating? Oh,
Because
she
he
was.
cheated. That's the only he did not cheat the first time. He cheated on her twice, and she said she left for like 5 months, and then she came back, and then he
Oh,
cheated again on her. It's like
I thought she was
this.
a lesbian or something. They kept saying she was a lesbian on
Well, don't
Archduchess
matter.
channel.
Like, even if she is, so what? Like, she married to a man.
Yeah,
Like, she
I thought they were.
like
Were they having like? Were they with the women together, or was he with the woman alone?
he was with the woman alone.
Oh, okay. It was in the comments. Honestly, they probably were just talking crap.
You can't believe what people say without doing your own research. Like, this woman is pretty, but she's brainwashed, like, to the core. Like, she's sitting on a camera with him, with her bonnet on, and in the camera, trying to speak her piece. They saying that they're not getting a divorce. Okay, fine. You must be okay with that. But from the looks of it, you know that she's, probably fucking sick and tired of this shit. And then she has the nerve to come back on camera again and spew out her religion. And this is what I hate about it because, you know, I am a believer, right? I believe in God. I believe in, the
Mhm.
Lord. Jesus, Christ himself. And I hate it when people bring up religion to justify, why they stay with their husbands and all that stuff. I'm like, did you even read the Bible, woman? Because if the Bible says, and I have to figure out what verse that is, but it said I think it was in John. John was saying that. Or Luke. No, I don't think it's Luke. But or was it anyways, it says it says that if somebody cheats on you, you have a right to divorce them. You have a right to ask them for a divorce because they cheated on you. So, I don't know where this whole thing comes from, but because we have all these religious nuts springing out of nowhere, and they're not making sense whatsoever. Because whatever they say in the Bible, it does not say that. Because let's be honest, the Bible is not complete. Let's keep it real. It is not complete. It doesn't have all the books in it. There's plenty of books that were left out and that were taken out and thrown somewhere into the sea.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we can't, there are verses that are missing in there, and that's probably why the Bible is not making too much sense because the people they took the some of the scriptures out of the Bible. And that's why, it's kind of hard for people to make it out is because of that. But that doesn't mean some of the verses in there are true, you know, but don't make the
Hmm.
Bible up to, use it to brainwash somebody or to use it against people just because they're from a certain religion. That is wrong. That is so wrong. And
Yeah.
people
That
shouldn't
is.
do that. As Christians, we should be smart, especially if you know the Bible inside out. You can use it against religious nuts and let them know that they are full of the devil. Okay, when they look at
Yeah,
the Bible.
people love to use their religion as an excuse, for
Yeah,
different
just
things.
and that's what chases people away from God because they're trying to brainwash people with religion. There is a difference between being spiritual and there's a difference with being a religion. Okay, so being spiritual means that you have a connection with God. You have a personal relationship with God. And basically, that's basically what it is, having a relationship with your creator. Religion is when you are doing some man-made stuff that requires you to do all this stuff that does not say in the Bible. The Bible does not say that. And we have to, that's why we have to be smart in doing our own research. You remember the Jim Jones story back in the 60s where he poisoned a bunch of black people with Kool-Aid and all that stuff? He poisoned them with some kind of drink. And a lot of them died because he
What was
used
that?
religion. Huh? Jim
Oh,
Jones.
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Jones. He poisoned a lot of people that followed him because he knew the FBI was on his trail.
Hmm.
So he used some kind of poison and he told people to drink it, and they did it without question, and people died.
Yeah. Honestly, though, and there's something that I thought was kind of cool about that was not that specifically or cool, but it's just a statistic. Um, you know, um, that he was supposedly, as far as the study was saying that he was someone who was bisexual.
I never heard of that. I never got
Yeah,
that's
he was bisexual.
oh wow.
Yeah. With studies, and this is a little odd because
Mm-hmm.
it makes, like, among the LGBT community, that
Mm-hmm.
lesbians and gays have lower suicide rates than bisexuals.
Mm.
Yeah, so for some reason, I think something, the way they're wired, they're more prone to suicide for some reason than gays and lesbians. And it has nothing to do with homosexuality, obviously, because if it had to do with homosexuality, I mean, uh, the lesbians and gays would have a higher rate. They don't. So there's something going on there. So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely. I never heard. Bisexuals having suicide. It was not on the opening for me. I never heard of that before,
I'll
but
try and look it up. There's a statistic. I see.
okay. I just never heard of it. I know that
Because I
straight
Oh,
people commit.
I never got why that was, but it is. It's like, what was that? Sorry,
I
overlap.
know that men
What are you
commit
saying?
more suicide. Men commit more suicide than women. That's all I know. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can't really. It's like in and out.
It's my internet. It's not stable.
I'm going through my house cooking right now. Anyway,
Oh no, that's good. That's good.
can you hear me?
And and Tyrell wants to know who you are.
Yeah. Who am I?
Terrell wants to
What?
know who
Wait,
you are.
where are you? I'm seeing your page. Oh, I'm just
He's right
Ann.
there.
Ann Walker Ramirez. Have a channel. Uh,
Uh-uh.
yeah, hi Terrell. Yeah, I'm trying to look for the link for the suicide rates.
Oh,
Or
okay. Yeah, go ahead and look that up because I never heard of bisexuals committing suicide. I wonder why.
yeah, I
I
don't
want
know why
you
either.
know. Yeah, I wonder. It's kind of uh what it's this is new for me. I never heard of bisexuals, committing suicide. Is that both men and women committing suicide?
I
And
believe so, but I see right here. Yeah, I believe so, but I see the percentage for men specifically is 35%.
oh,
Shoot. Yeah, and then lesbians are 30%. Gay men are 25%. I didn't know gay men were lower than lesbians, but
mm.
apparently they are.
what is
But
what
yeah, it
is
says,
trans men and women?
what about trans men and women? I don't know about them. Oh yeah, those are usually higher. Transgender people usually kill themselves on very much higher levels. It's different. I
Oh
was talking
wow.
about sexuality. Yeah, I was talking about sexuality.
Oh, okay.
I showed
Yeah, cause
this link, and there are other links. I've been seeing this for years that bisexuals have higher suicide rates.
man, because I know I don't know if you heard of her. Her name is Sasha Shaw. I don't know if you heard of her. People were talking about her like a couple months ago, and
Yeah,
she
I did.
just yeah. So and she's one of them that black males because she is a black male.
Mm-hmm.
So she We're calling out black women, talking about straight men don't want you, doing so, what black male rhetoric, she spews out. She just deletes or puts her videos on private. And she just don't want, I don't know why she doesn't leave her video out. She said what she said. And but for some reason she puts her videos on private. But but if you're gonna put your videos on private, don't say them at all if you don't mean them. Because
Yeah.
you you want to sit there and put shit out. However, you don't like. But when it comes to people calling you out, you want to put your videos on private.
Oh, really?
And yeah, she puts her videos on private,
Yeah,
all
I've
of them.
seen a few of her videos. I've seen a few.
Yeah.
I think honestly with her, I talked about her in one video. To me, I
Hmm.
just think that I think she hates everything that she feels she has any connection to. This is why,
Yeah.
like, she was talking about gay men. She says they're weak and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
she said it.
she says that because she feels like she was too
Because
weak to.
that's how he feels as a man. He feels weak
Yeah, that's
because
what I'm saying.
he said it himself. He said it himself that the reason why he is not a man and he transitioned because being a man is hard. He can't be a man, so he became a woman.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying in my video about him.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I didn't think that person was really. I didn't think that person was really even a transgender woman because why would you be attacking black women when aren't you supposed to be claiming you're a black woman? Like
I,
that's how they do it. I've talked to those people before. How they do it, they try to act like they're exactly those people because that's usually how they feel inside.
because
Now, if
trust
you
me,
don't feel
the
that way,
same.
then you're not really that. So you're just
Yeah.
trying to fake it.
Here's the thing. A trans man. Let me say about these trans women. Like, why would you even convert yourself to a black woman if you don't like black women? Because let
Yeah.
me tell you something, the same straight men that you claim likes you, they will beat you like a black woman. They would, do all kinds of things that they do to a black woman. You're no different.
I think they would beat them more often, actually, because they probably feel like they can. I
Right.
mean, let's just be real. It's not even that. Not to say anyone should be beat up, but when a woman is beaten up by a man, that's not right because she is so much weaker than a man. She can get,
Exactly.
she can put breasts on her chest, and
Mhm.
she could get rid of her penis. She has a penis, but she could get rid of it. But her muscles and everything, they're still gonna be as strong as they are. I was
Yeah.
watching like different videos of this person called what's her name? What's this person's name? Fallon Fox. And they
Found
were yeah, Fallon Fox is this MMA fighter who would just pound on these poor like small women who were actually biologically women. This person was a biological male and they would just beat them up in the first round, usually in a matter of a couple minutes. Some women were strong enough to hang on and avoid like for 3 rounds, but after a while they got tired too. And one was on
Wait a minute,
like
this sounds like real life almost.
oh yeah, yeah, this is a real story. It's Fallon Fox. It was MMA fighting. It was a transgender person and yeah.
Oh, I think I heard
Yeah, one person beat them, but they actually were found out to have diuretics in their system like 2 years later.
hmm.
So they probably had some kind of steroid. I'm thinking that's why they beat them. But everybody else, I think, who was normal and didn't have anything in their system, they got beat up so quickly. And that's why I'm just pointing out that even if you have breasts on your chest, you're so much
Mhm.
stronger than any woman who is martial arts, fighter. And these are
Right.
strong women. So I mean, like, obviously, if a man beats you up, it's not even, it's wrong. No
Did you
violence,
know?
but it's not
Did
as
you
bad.
know? Did you know Florida put a ban of transgender women joining women's sports? They put a
Oh, really?
ban. Yeah, they put a ban on that, and I think because Caitlyn Jenner, you already know who Caitlyn Jenner is. She's
Yeah.
uh she's running for governor, and to be a trans woman, she agrees that transgender women should not be in women's sports. She agrees with that. And girl, the transgender community went off on her. But she's telling the truth because estrogen cannot beat testosterone. You
No, it's
cannot,
not. Yeah, it's not even the hormones. Honestly, it's their body structure and everything. Because if they take the hormones, estrogen, it doesn't change anything. Like in that
here's
case,
the
like I
thing.
said with Fallon Fox, she literally cracked a woman's skull. So I mean, like she was on estrogen for a while. That did not change her, like her body size. You could see her compared to the other women. It didn't matter if they were taller, shorter. You could see, like, in the build, total man, basically, like the arms, the shoulders, the hands, the wrists, the bones, everything was just a man.
Yeah, like you know what I also heard, like, and this came from another YouTuber. Like she told me that they're gonna host the Olympics with transgender women with biological women. So basically, transgender women are gonna compete with women in track, swim, uh, uh, and gymnastics and
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. And I'm just like, this is getting out of control. And not
Yeah.
only that, I was also watching Lovely Peace live stream because she was also talking about, the features of the women and how these women, were building testosterone in their body, which makes them have manly features. But they're women. But here's the thing, the Olympics are, you know, trying to see if these women are men, are transgender men. Are
Oh.
Yeah, and they said that they found high levels of testosterone in their bodies. And they said that if they found like a high level of testosterone in women, then they would have them compete with the men. And I'm like, that's not well. That's oh, hi Lewis, hi Lewis. But that doesn't mean that their testosterones are, in a higher level with the men. It's still a low level of testosterones. Those men can still beat them.
Yeah.
They can still beat them just because they have a higher level of testosterone than other women. That does not mean that does not mean that they can't compete with men. Their testosterones are still low. They're still lower than men.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if you know, but we've had this issue with sports since the beginning of women's sports. Because
Yeah,
before women's sports, I don't think they had this issue with men too much because people just couldn't compete, then they couldn't compete. But
yeah,
people, if you look, there's been a lot of things where people who were born, I guess, somewhat female, or they were born female, like, the whole situation with Caster Semenya and things like that, where they are basically born female, but they're also male biologically, intersex people. And they would show that many of the times in these situations, these people would basically soared to the top competitively against other women and basically beating all the other women out. And to me, it's like, okay, if these people were born female, and,
Mm,
and, they're, and they're also part male, of course, but they
right,
were female, they're not as strong as a man, obviously, because they're part female.
right,
They
right.
still were able to beat women out. Why would we ever include someone who is biologically male when someone who is biologically female and male already has shown that they beat us out? And I think that's not
Mm-hmm.
right that they used to ban them. I don't know if they still do, but they
Mm-hmm.
banned them, the intersex people, often because it wasn't fair to the women, which I always thought they should have some type of special Olympics or something for them, because it's not really fair. They didn't do this to themselves. Like transgender people, they did this to themselves. They can compete with men if they just let their bodies be. You know what I mean? If they were just men, they would compete perfectly fine. But
Mm-hmm.
these people, they're not able to because they're not able to compete with men. They're not able to compete with women. That's a whole different situation, you know.
Right. That is true because it's impossible to, put yourself in a position where you have to, come and that's not fair. As I'm thinking, it's not fair that they have to compete with men when their testosterone level is so low. That doesn't make them a man. They're still women. It's because
Hmm.
they were trained so much in their early childhood is that they're starting to grow more testosterone because they work out a lot. They work
Yeah.
out a lot and because they have to train for the Olympics. And that's why, their testosterone level, picked up. And they can't help that. They can't help that.
Yeah. And plus, some people have higher testosterone. So I don't
Yeah.
know. To me, I just think like with the whole thing with hormones and trying to basically put people into the men's category, especially if they're not, they can't compete with men. I think that's just ignorant. It should be three, I think, Olympics where some people fit into the women's side, the men's side, and then some people
Mhm.
can fit in between.
Right. Let me answer Terrell's question a little bit. Terrell, I still go on Cam's channel. Sometimes I'll be like a onlooker or something because he has a lot of moderators on his channel, a lot. And 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 sometimes I don't have to be there is because I have other channels that I want to watch that I need to keep up to because I'm subscribed to like over 200 channels. So there's other channels that I want to watch and sometimes I can't catch Cam's live. But but sometimes I would if if the people that I really want to see is not going live or something. Yeah, and then I'll go on Cam's channel because I really do, like his contact and what he's put out there because he's gonna put out because I talked to Cam personally and he's gonna and I know divestors are going to hate this divestors and swirlers, but this needs to be said. He's gonna call out the divestors and the swirlers and it needs to be called out because we're doing a lot of damage. It's ridiculous, you know, and we're not even thinking eh, about about our own livelihood or or what's dangerous because we're sitting up here and we're worshiping these males that don't deserve to be worshiped. It's kind of like kind of like that with some channels, but it really does need to be called out because in reality, we have to be honest with ourselves. There are dusty males in different parts of the community, and trust me, there are dusty men that wear suits too. We have to be honest with ourselves. It doesn't matter whether he is the a white male, an Asian male, a Hispanic male, Indian or black, whoever. You know, there are dusts, they could be either in the suit or they could be, dressing like, one with their pants sagging and wearing a t-shirt over it, having their underwear, and all of that. There's different kind of dusty men, and that needs to be talked about. They're not talking about that. And do you want to get in on this? She put herself on mute. But uh
Yeah, I thought that that people could hear the TV or no.
it's not, it's not, as long as it's not, over you, I can hear you
Okay,
way.
I have the I don't have a TV on. Problem is, someone else has the TV on it in the other room, so that's why.
Oh, you have roommates?
No, just family member.
Oh, family. Oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
I got a question.
it's not that loud though.
No, it's not that loud. No, I can hear it,
Okay,
but it's not loud to where I can't hear you. But you're
okay, that's why
fine.
I put myself on mute while you're talking. So then it's just not an interruption or anything.
I just wanna ask if you are a divester or a swirler. Like what category do you fall in? Or you just yourself?
Oh, I'm a swirler.
Oh, you're a swirler. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, mammies are the people who like black men, right? Like they're attracted to
Um,
them.
yeah, mammies are usually the ones that are that stick up for a black man, and and they go and they put their support behind black men. Yeah, those are mammies.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a mammy. So I guess I'm a swirler because I prefer I'm not really attracted to black men. So I
Uh,
usually hang around a lot of rainbow swirlers. Like the channel that I moderate for is a Rainbow Swirler channel.
Rainbow Thriller. I never heard of her.
No, that's not that's not her channel. Cerebral is her channel. She's a
Oh,
rainbow
Cerebral,
swirl.
you follow her too, right?
Yeah, I'm a
I
moderator
follow
there.
her too. I love Cerebral. Oh, she's cool.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I like channels like that. Like I don't know. She seems like she just keeps her options open, and she doesn't seem like how some channels they use kind of like really derogatory language, or they kind of act
Yeah,
really
she's not
base.
too
She's not
extreme.
low
Yeah,
class.
yeah. She's not too extreme. And I've
Yeah.
seen, extreme channels and I'm subscribed to them, but they was like, whoa. Like I seen, I don't know if you heard about RWSX hashtag expose.
No, I've never. I've
She's
seen it, but I've never watched.
she is one of the extreme ones that that came out. She used to go by the name Miss Prophet back in a long time ago when I discovered her back in 2012. That's when I discovered her. But then she disappeared, but I did not hear back from her until 2019. But yeah, she's very extreme. She goes in on black men. And another one that is extreme is divested zealous. She's an
Yeah,
extreme one.
I've donated to her.
Oh,
I don't.
really?
Yeah, I've donated to her, but I didn't know. Somebody pointed out when I did my Cynthia G video. Somebody told me that she had a black man hanging. I was like, oh.
I never heard of that.
I didn't see. I didn't know, but I didn't see. Do you see in her avatar? There's a black man hanging on a tree. I never even noticed.
Oh my god!
I was
Oh,
like,
I
oh.
did not know that. Is that the one where she sips the tea in her avatar?
No, it's on the front. Like when you look her up. you'll see a tree, somebody
Hold on,
swinging like on a swing.
because I don't be catching symbolism. I'm sorry, like I'm bad at catching symbolism.
I'm
Divest.
looking it up right now. I'm trying to see. Does she still have it up?
Oh yes, now I see it, and somebody is swinging from the tree.
Yes.
Oh my god! Like I never noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't either until somebody. I
Surprised
was like, oh my
nobody's.
god.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one reported that. I'm surprised. Oh goodness.
Oh yeah. Wow. Well, I don't mean to say that to broadcast. I like her channel, so yeah. Please,
Yeah,
nobody report it or anything,
I
please.
don't think nobody is paying attention to the picture. Oh my god! I didn't because I did not pay attention to the picture at first. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh goodness.
Yeah,
What
but
else
I
is
like her channel when she talks about mammies and stuff. That's cool. Like when she was talking about Carrie Hilson, I totally liked her channel for that. That was good. My thing is, I don't like channels who kind of like make it seem like channels who aren't divested, but they want to appeal to divested because they're more so focused on the
the
gender
date?
war.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I don't like the gender wars because when we do the gender wars, then they start talking about who was wanted or who was desired or who's like with black men like providing and things of that nature. I'm not really concerned about that because I never really want black men that they're talking about. Now, I am, I guess, to some extent, a rainbow swirler. When I think of it, it's kind of like I said, I come from a family that kind of sees blackness as basically mixed and black. Like mixed people can be black, and black people are black, and. So to
Hmm.
me, I prefer a lot of mixed men, and I consider those men black too. The thing is, I grew up in a household with a lot of people who looked mixed, but they were black. On my mom's side, we have
Hmm.
my cousin, his father, and that family. They have like a black father who looks like a black father, like who looks like me, basically, like black looking, and then a white looking mother. And then I think they did that again up on her generation. So they are black. They just, for some reason, take after the mother's side, basically.
That's because
Yeah,
when it comes
a
to the
lot of
mother,
white. What?
when it comes to the mother, the reason why they take after the mother's side because she's the one that raises the children.
No, I mean
And
biologically. Like they look like white people, basically. Like,
oh,
have you? What are? I don't know what your ethnicity is, but among Black Americans, there's some Black Americans who are white passing, and they're not mixed. They're
I'm
just
not.
white passing.
I'm not. I'm mixed, but I'm not heavily mixed. Let's just put it that way. I'm kind of ethnic mixed. I'm ethnic mixed. I have Cherokee in my blood from both sides of the family.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, so I'm not really like outside of the race mix, but I'm you know ethnically mixed. That's if you
Yeah,
want to put it that.
these people in my family were not mixed like even closely like that. If you do you watch the conservative twins ever? If you watch their video on how they talk about their ethnic background, it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the conservative twins look black, but I'm saying these people did not look black, basically. So they basically have mixture in their ancestry back to basically slavery, or they'll say like, because my other cousin, she has a family just like that too, and they would say her grandmother's great grandfather, I think it was. Yeah, I think it
Mm-hmm.
was her great grandfather was white. So that means 6% white. yet they all look white still in the family. I don't know how it happens, but these people, like, all the way up to her dad, they were all white looking. And then on my,
Yeah.
yeah, on my other cousin's side, he actually is white passing. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got to be like 70% black because my mom's side, they're like 95% black. And then his father, like I said, his father's father is like me. So I think he's got to be
Yeah.
maybe like 50 to 70% black. And then
Mm-hmm.
his mom was white looking, but she had two black parents too. There's a lot of that going on. I don't know what that is, but that's
It's
like
called like they're still ethnicity ethnicity black, but you know they come from two black parents. But what's ignorant about the black culture nowadays? They so quick to tell other black people, "Oh, you're not black. You have a white parent," which is not true. Because
mm-hmm,
if you met the other person's parents, you can see that that's their child. But we're so far in checking, not checking, DNA, like our DNA and how DNA works in black people, because we can create all races of people. But if
yeah,
you're just going to be ignorant like that and just look at the black race as just one ethnic color and being dark, then you're ignorant.
yeah,
Because there are black people that come from two black parents that can come out light. And that's called having the Eve gene. The woman carries the Eve gene
mm-hmm.
in the family. And we talk about this in the community, but something is not catching on where people are not understanding, where they're not, you know, where they're not understanding how genealogy works. Because if you go and look at Africa, there are albinos being born.
Mm-hmm.
You can, you're not going to go up to an albino and say, "Oh, you're not black," which you can clearly tell because they do not belong to the white race. They're just born with white skin because of the melanin deficiency, their
Yeah,
lack of melanin.
yeah,
So that's just proof right there that we can create other races that we want. We like if the child has two black parents and she looks Mexican, we can create all races. It's
mm-hmm.
rare. It's rare, but it can happen.
Yeah, and also that's why I'm just saying for me, when it comes to preference, I kind of see it that way where like I people will say that I don't prefer black men because they have an idea of what a black man looks like. But to me, like, I see like mixed men as black because they still look
Mhm.
like the black men that I'm used to. And then
Yeah.
also another thing is, with Black American DNA, it's a little different than other people's DNA because we're multi generational. So what
Mhm.
happens is like, for example, you say you have Native American down two lines, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can have it where if you have two different lines of Native American, for example, you can
Mhm.
have it where one part of your DNA is like 50% Native American, and then all of
Mhm.
your other chromosomes will have none of it. Like
Yeah.
I literally have it like that. Basically, my
My
father specifically have
my
it.
godmom is half Puerto Rican. She's Puerto Rican. Her mom is black. And not Chickasaw. But I'm tripping. What was that? Those Indians in Florida. The Sentinel Indians. You Sentinel. She has that and and black. So she has all those DNA in her culture. Well,
Oh.
she's heavily mixed ethnic rice. She's mixed. I don't know if her dad was like a light skinned Puerto Rican or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She her dad was Puerto Rican and she doesn't know Spanish because she wasn't taught it. She kind of came from a dysfunctional family. Now her
Oh.
parents like fight a lot, but yeah, like she was described her mom as having long hair, and having those like those features. And yeah, so it was different, for her hearing all that she came from a multicultural, point of view, her being heavily mixed with three or four different cultures.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, with, when you're multi generationally mixed, some of your chromosomes might be like, you might be 75% black, for example, but
Mhm.
you will have like chromosomes that are like 20% black. So that's why I think that's why some of that's why my cousin and his family look white, I think, even
Mhm.
though they probably don't have white in their family since the 1800s. But I think
Mhm.
it's just off of specific chromosomes. So they're still black people. They just look like white people. But I always thought that was cool because, they get to, see and hear and experience things to understand, like, who's their friend and who's not. Like, who's an enemy and who's their friend,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but people were mixing back in the day because if you didn't know history, where my lineage came from, my ancestors went down the Trail of Tears back
Oh,
in 1837 when they moved from Louisiana all the way to Oklahoma. Because Andrew Jackson, he broke his promise of keeping the Native Americans and having their land. So basically, the government forced them out, and and it was pretty sad. And
yeah.
what you didn't know about that, they had slaves with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took their slaves with them, but they was much nicer to their slaves than their white owners. I don't know if that's 100% true with that, but I believe that they were much nicer than their white owners.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because for one, they made it with the slave women and they married them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, they even helped with runaway slaves. And they mixed and married with the women.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I always thought since they took them to the Trail of Tears that they were trying, like, that they didn't have any care about them because they took them on that. But I guess I don't know. Oh, personally, for me, I have Native American ancestry, so I always thought that that was like something that was like,
what
not
like
a good
what is
thing.
your
Not like that I wasn't that I'm upset that I'm part Native American. I'm saying that what
no no no
the
no no no.
slaves would do.
What is
I'm saying,
what nation do you come from?
oh, America.
No. What Indian nation, like the Native American nation, because they have
Oh,
their own nation.
oh, I don't. It's so far back. Seriously. Okay. The truth about that situation is they claim down that line. My grandfather claims that his great grandmother is Blackfoot Native American. Now, I didn't even ask him about any of this until I got a DNA test, which said that I was Native American. So
Oh,
I have some Native American in my ancestry. And so I looked and I was like, it's not coming from my mom and it's not coming from my dad's mom. So then it had to be coming from my dad's dad. And so then I talked to him, and he said it was coming from his great grandmother. But then also the Walkers on the male side of the family, I
Mm-hmm.
talked to one of the matches, and they claimed that they had Native American too. Sometimes in black families, everybody claims Native American. It's impossible to know who is what. But one part said that they were Blackfoot Native American. My grandfather said his great grandmother was Blackfoot Indian. But
You,
the Walkers, they said that they were Nanticoke. I don't
Nat,
really know anything about Nanticokes.
hey, there's some tribes we never heard before, but there's tribes that are popular, more popular than others. But on both of my side is Cherokee Indians
Oh,
from both.
that's cool.
Yeah, my mom is from Boston, and my dad's was born in Denver. His mom is from Texas, and
Oh,
his dad is from Oklahoma. So yeah, so we his dad left the reservation when he became an adult, and he started, to venture off into Denver. I guess that's where he met my grandmother. So we got that. We
that's
have
cool.
that. Yeah. So both sides Cherokee.
I wish I had some connection to my Native American roots, but I
You can
don't. Like,
still
you
you
know what? How don't you guys get like some kinds of benefits when you're registered, right, or something like that?
Yes, you have to be registered because for some reason, when my grandpa left the reservation, we have no records of him whatsoever. So I have to, find his records to prove that we came from his lineage. And also from my mom's side, because she said that on her mom's side her grandmother was full blood Cherokee Indian, and she would tell me that her hair would come all the way down almost to the floor. And my
Oh,
mom, yeah, and my mom said she would play with her hair, you know.
yeah.
So I'm very, fortunate that my parents are. They were able to, yeah. Tell me, their story. My dad is he kind of have Alzheimer's, so he doesn't remember his dad that much, but his dad would his dad was like in and out of his life, you
Oh,
know.
that's sad.
Yeah, but he said he remembers him, but he died, after me and my brother was born. So
I'm sorry about that.
no, don't be sorry because I don't know him. So it's a
Uh,
there's nothing to be sorry about. I don't know the guy, so but you can tell if you met my mom, you can tell she has like those features of a Native American.
yeah.
Yeah,
With white Americans, when they claim Native American, usually in the family, it's black. Usually, like Jessica Biel.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, she claimed Native American in her family, and she's black, part black. Not she's not like black like that. I'm just saying she's got black ancestry in her heritage, which is probably why they thought they had Native American.
ah,
Yeah, and you have to think. I think there, like, you can look in history. There's so many different mixed race categories of people, like Caramel Indians, Lumbee people, and so forth, that um, basically would claim Native American heritage, even though they were mostly just white and black. The Melungeon people, now they often in history were claimed to be part Native American, even though they're just white and black, basically. So a lot of the time with white families, when they claim Native American, it's because they're trying to basically mask the black in their family. Because
mhm.
um, if you think of it, why would any white American family claim Native American heritage? especially like in the older days. They wouldn't claim that because I mean, like they want it to be pure white, you know, like they wouldn't claim that. But they did it because they didn't really have a choice. It was either that or being black. So
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
think I saw this one lady. What's her name? That I always thought was part black. What's her name? Tori Amos. She claims that she's part Native American, but I swear, so many of her features look African to me. Like her hair, her nose, her lips. She does. She has a
Uh,
lot of African features, like the curly hair. Goodness.
so like, they even Tina Turner even did a DNA test on her ancestry, and she went on this one show, African Heritage, with that one guy, one black
Mm-hmm.
guy, and it came back that she does not have Native American ancestry at all, which I find like that's bullshit.
Oh,
Excuse my
really?
language.
I thought she was a 1% Native American. She's not. Tina Turner. I'm looking her up.
I was like, no, that's impossible because this woman looks like she came from somebody's tribe. Like that's bullshit. Like I don't know Tina Turner personally, but she comes from Nutbush, Tennessee. So there's a Native American tribes out that way. I think it's Blackfoot. She probably has that tribe in her. So
Yeah,
I
she has 1% Native American.
hey, she's still Native American.
Yeah, it's just 1%. I'll show you in the private. Do you see your private chat? I put the link for
Yeah,
the bisexual suicide rates too.
yeah, I
But
see
I'll
that
put
one.
the Tina Turner ethnicity there too, because it says that she's 1% Native American. So it is a little something. It's just not much. It's showing. But if
Is
you
it?
think of it, what?
No, no, go ahead.
No, but I was just saying, if you think of it, a percentage doesn't really mean anything because, like I said, on your chromosomes, it ranges. Like I'm only like 6% Native American total, but on my chromosomes, one is like 50%.
Oh
So
wow.
it can range like that. Yeah, one can be like 50% Native American, and then you could have nothing basically on the rest of your chromosomes, or you could have like little flicks of like you'll see it. Like have you ever seen the whole column of the chromosomes on a DNA result like
Mm-mm,
23andMe?
girl, I have not. Oh, excuse me, I have not. But because I never took in I need a DNA test before. But
Oh.
uh,
Yeah, it
but
changes. There's like different colors on it. But yeah, she has
yeah,
1%. I showed you the link right here on the private chat if you see it.
okay.
Yeah, so she is native, just a minor amount. I can see all three. I can see white in her. I can see native and I can see black. All three. It's
Yeah,
amazing
she.
how little. Hmm?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, what were you saying?
No, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it's amazing how little ancestry someone can have, and still it shows.
Oh yeah, like my ancestry shows sometimes too. Well, actually, it does show. It does.
Oh,
let me
that's
look.
cool.
Let me look at it. Let me look at it. Because
Yeah.
I'm very curious of what. Because I'm a big Tina Turner fan, so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, she's like 66% African. I thought that was kind of low. I thought she would have like 70, I thought. I don't know. But Maybe not. She actually kind of looks similar to. Doesn't she kind of look similar to what's the name? That Jones guy. Like, she looks like she could be related to him.
Mm.
Racially, I'm saying. Don't they look racially similar? I
Well,
think.
yeah.
Quincy Jones. I'm trying to say. Racially, I
She
think they
has a
both could be
higher
similar.
percentage, like she has a high percentage of European in her.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what I mean. They both have about the same amount. I think he's like, is he 65% African? I think, and then there's European. I don't think he's native. I think he's just European and African, right?
you
But
know,
I think
Lewis. You know, Lewis was telling me that he said don't take the DNA test. He said to uh, to just what can I say? What I'm trying to say here. He said just to take a blood test or something like that.
oh, why?
So because he believes that gives you the right percentage of your heritage.
Oh, you don't think the saliva does? Why?
He believes those the debt is fraudulent. To take the DNA test is fraudulent.
Oh, well, how do you
Yeah,
guys take a blood test?
I don't know. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. But I'm trying to get in contact with the Cherokee Nation at this moment so I can get my credentials, my grandpa's credentials, so we can start receiving some benefits. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, my dad, but anyways, I'm going to end the live.
Oh,
It's
he's the
almost
same percentage of African.
huh.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and end the live.
Oh no, I was just looking at. Okay.
Thank you, Anne,
Thanks.
for
Bye.
coming on. Oh,
No
thank you, Anne,
problem.
for.
It was fun.
Yeah. So everybody else, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I see you in the next video. Bye.